Alright, so we buried the solid pipe that's going to act as a perimeter drain. It goes under the ground here, comes out there next to the foundation. So I dug this trench with the backhoe. My dad's just leveling out the bumps. I checked it to make sure that there's a good rise. And so next step is we're going to line it with the landscaping fabric. I have a roll there. And then we're going to fill it with the 3/4 inch crushed stone before putting the pipe in. So here we're installing a perimeter drain, and the holes face down evenly on both sides. We have the 3/4 inch crushed stone, the landscaping fabric. There's where it goes out. Over there, where it goes downhill. And we need to fill in the low spots now. We have our level. We're going to give it a slight slope downhill the whole way. So here's a small compactor we're going to be using. Also, I rented a minier excavator than the other one with a 12-inch bucket. Basically, we ended yesterday. We were still working on the perimeter drain, and I found I was moving so much dirt with the large excavator that it was taking up way too much of the stone that I had purchased for just a small area. Still have to finish this, get some more stone in there. Obviously the trench is just too big, but now with the smaller excavator I should be able to make a much smaller trench for the rest of it, which should work out well. So there's my perimeter drain on the north wall. I've constantly been checking with the level. What I've been doing is I've been loading the wheelbarrow with that mini excavator over there, hauling it over by hand, pouring it in, and then getting down there and straightening it out with my hands. So at this point, my original intention was to cover it with more stone, but I just straight up, I had dug this trench too big with that larger excavator. The other trenches that I dig around the other three sides hopefully will be smaller, because that's a 1-foot bucket on that one. And but I just don't have enough stone to keep filling this trench. So I'm going to cover it with another layer of landscaping fabric, and then backfill it and compact it. So here's an update. That other excavator, that little tiny thing, just wasn't big enough. I kept getting it stuck. It kept sinking into the soft soil which was over there. So I had them swap it out for this one. It worked out much better. Also, I spent some time in here some more, trying to level it out, exposing more of the foundation. So the thing is that we've got this wall here. So far today we buried this additional side. We prepped the base inside the crawl space. We got 10 yards of sand, and Kurt here is using the mini to push the sand the rest of the way into the crawl space. We did the best we could with the truck driver, but some of it fell forward. Look at him go. Good morning, friends. So here's our construction site this morning. And so we've got a pile of sand that we're going to spread out and create a 4-inch base inside this crawl space. Our septic tank is located over here, and it was replaced in 2008. There was a PVC coming in, and then there was a cast iron inside the house. I ripped out the cast iron, and I just brought up the 4-inch PVC right there with a shallow sweep 90 buried underground. So then that'll be a good base for the plumbers to tie into. We have our perimeter drain done on this side up to there, as well as over on this side, and we started going around the corner, so we got 2 more walls to do. So this is an interesting thing because this was where the kitchen sink was going to. It was draining at this point, but over here was the main waste line. This wasn't connected. It had a plastic pipe coming through the subfloor, which the kitchen sink was tied to, and then it went into a cast iron down there and came out, and it continues on. And so here's what we have found so far. Now first off, let's see, this section here is plastic, and the clean out was buried. Now who buries a clean out? That's just ridiculous. And then this section, turns out it looks like some type of clay. It had a coupler. I mean, I'm not really sure, you know, but it was completely clogged solid with just this mess of stuff here. It smells awful, and I still don't know where it goes, you know. So with all this help, we've really been knocking out the perimeter drain. As we've been going along in the trench, we're currently leveling out the gravel. There's a 4-inch gravel base in the bottom of the trench, which is inside the landscaping fabric, and we're installing the perforated pipe right now. But we're checking to make sure that there's a nice slope all to the downhill. And here we've got the pipe buried in the gravel trench. You can see a little bit of it there, but it's completely buried in gravel all the way around. Now we've got a good overlap of landscaping fabric over the gravel. And here's what it looks like, backfilled and compacted, and we're still spreading out the sand base, which is going to protect the moisture barrier in the crawl space.